Hi, everybody. My name is Ron Eisenberg, and today we're going to talk about how CyberArk reduces cognitive load with platform engineering. So, our agenda for today, we're going to talk about CyberArk and its road to becoming a SaaS provider. Why did we start the Cloud Platform Engineering Group? What are its responsibilities? What are its unique challenges and how we solve them? What's the current state of the group in the organization? And looking back, we'll see what were the keys to success and we'll summarize it. So, my name is Ryan Eisenberg. I'm a principal software architect at the Platform Engineering Group. I was one of the first employees at the group from the beginning of the group, and I'm an AWS community builder for the last 2 years. And I own the website runthebuilder.cloud, where I share my knowledge with blogs and articles and conference talks about serverless and AWS in general. Okay, so CyberArk was founded back in 1999. That's 24 years ago. We have over 2,700 employees, 700 developers worldwide, and we started with providing solutions for privileged access management for on-premise solutions. And in recent years, we've made the transition into becoming more of a SaaS provider with cloud applications, and we're focusing now on more identity security. So back in the early days, we had several cloud applications that we started to develop. And quite quickly, the teams realized that in order to become a cloud application, you need to solve and figure out many challenges and questions that have nothing to do with your business domain. Challenges such as how do you deploy to the cloud? How do you build your CI/CD pipeline? How do you handle observability? How do you handle tenant isolations? These are all things that you need to figure out and solve, and it has nothing to do with your business domain. Okay, every SaaS application just requires it. So what happened is that these new cloud applications, they developed all these SDKs and services and all the things that they require, and they had different solutions. So this caused an organizational waste, and it also caused a unification problem, right? There was no unified experience for developers to develop new applications. There was no unified experience for the SREs to to debug all our applications because there was different observability solutions. And also the customers didn't have a unified experience. There was no unified UI. There was no unified tenant onboarding because each cloud application created its own unique solution. So that is why the cloud platform engineering was formed. We wanted to remove this organizational waste. We want to have a more unified experience to the customers, the SREs, and developers to have common grounds, to have common tools, and basically to accelerate the development for new SaaS solutions at CyberArk to make it simpler for new services to also join this platform and our new SaaS solutions. So we were formed back in 2019. We had At the end of 2019, we had 20 engineers and architects, and Summer decided to use AWS and serverless technology. So basically, had to learn AWS and serverless, and we also had to learn what it means to be a platform. Right? We didn't really understand fully what are the challenges and what was required of us to be a platform for the entire CyberArk. So we decided to focus at the beginning on common services and SDKs that everybody requires. And we started also to build the serverless CI/CD pipeline that everybody needs to have a common ground for new services. And we had a high focus on quality because we knew that everybody is going to use our services and SDKs. So we need to have excellent quality because everybody depends on it. And it's the foundation for the entire company and the entire new platform and SaaS solutions. So, what are the responsibilities of my group? So, we have internal customers, and these are the CyberArk developers. And you have several responsibilities here. You have for internal SDKs, you have logging and observability, tracing, and metrics. Again, this is something that every SaaS solution requires, and we wanted to have one solution to also make it easier for the developers to use. and also for the SREs to have one tool so they can debug our entire services from one utility. So it's easier to debug and find issues in the platform and in the cloud solutions itself. Also, for tenant isolation, there is no need. Since we're a security company, this is a very sensitive library. It's very critical that we solve it and we solve it properly in one location, so no services don't really need to reinvent the wheel, so to speak. And other more advanced use cases for SDKs, such as feature flags, that everybody needs to really improve their release mechanisms for new features. Since we became AWS and serverless experts, we also offer consultation and best practices guidelines and training regarding AWS and serverless. And we also have internal services that serve these internal services at CyberArk and internal teams. So we can say some examples are tenant management, authentication, and login, and other internal services. So basically, this entire set of capabilities really help the developers to focus on the business domain and less on doing things that everybody requires and that has nothing to do with the business domain. Other responsibilities are with the external customers, which are CyberArk regular customers, right? So we have services that serve CyberArk customers. We have the unified UI, we have the audit service, and also the tenant management. So these are services again that every SaaS solution requires and everybody needs. So there's this unified experience, this unified service that um, all the CyberArk users can use. And also that means that we need to have production firefighting, and that's another one of our responsibilities and challenges. Okay, so let's talk about our challenges and how we solve them. So one of the main challenges is gaining the trust of developers. So as you know, developers in general don't like to be told, hey, you should now use this SDK because I told you so, and this is the way we do things at CyberArk. No, we want to have everybody have their say, everybody have a chance to make an impact, and we want everybody to have their opinion said. So we advocate for inclusion and internal customer feedback. So it's included in many stages, starting from the requirement stage, where we ask the architects of all the teams, this is the new service feature that we want to develop. Please let us know if we're missing any requirements. Please give us your feedback. Then when we have a design, we ask them, please review, tell us if you have anything to comment, maybe you should improve something. And in the end, once we have the implementation ready and everybody's using it, we want feedback to improve it. So there's an entire feedback loop here from all over the stages from the development. Another main challenge is to provide excellent developer experience for our internal customers. We're a platform. If we're not going to do our job well, if our services and SDKs are not going to be well documented, easy to use, nobody's going to use them. Okay, so the platform will not work. So we've implemented an internal open source mentality, and we have release notes for all our services and SDKs, and we write extensive documentation in the form of GitHub pages um, for our services and SDKs. We've cut snippets with really simple examples on how to use and why you should use it, and design pages. So everything is very crystal clear. Another thing that we have is the self-service serverless template, which I'm going to explain in a second. And this one is very critical. This one is basically the mother load of reducing cognitive load from new developers. So basically, it allows new developers to start a new service with just a few clicks. It's a self-service template that you can start in GitHub, and you're getting a basic serverless service, an API gateway with a Lambda that writes to a DynamoDB table with feature flags. And it has all the best practices that we have for serverless, observability, login, project structure, all the platform SDKs built in, a CI/CD pipeline ready to go, and also tests. So you can just start writing new code and make it your own service, right? You don't have to worry about all the other things around it. So we also have training around it, and we tell people, we have videos to explain on serverless, on an AWS, and we train them on how to use the service and how to extend it and how to write tests and change code. And in one example, we had a team that started from an on-premise solution, started to work on the serverless template, and in 4 months they were able to get to design partners and actually to real customers. And 4 months for us was just amazing. I've made an open source version of this serverless template, and you can check out the QR code in the link. It's called the AWS Lambda Handler Cookbook, and it's free to use. So you can go ahead and use it and start with free clicks your own serverless service. So another challenge that we had is to share the knowledge that we have, to share new feature, to share the new best practices that we have. All this knowledge needs to be shared, and there are many developers. As you saw, we have hundreds of developers. So we have several solutions for that. One way is to have a developer portal where each developer can log in and have a complete list of all the platform services, our SDKs, what we offer, what it does, who's in charge of the repository, links to the documentation in the GitHub repository, links to the self-service templates, links to all the best practices. So everything is very organized and easy to use. Another way to do that is Platform Day. It's a day where developers in the platform and architects, they conduct talks and training and workshops and just train the entire R&D of the organization with how to use the tools and how to use our SDKs and just share the knowledge. Another mechanism is just training and workshops, video recordings, and we have a course with a syllabus for new serverless developers that they can get into starting their serverless service and start learning and using the template. And lastly, we have a challenge for avoiding becoming a bottleneck, because everybody wants something from us, everybody's using our SDKs, and we have limited time and limited manpower. So one way to solve it is to use inner sourcing. Sometimes we can ad hoc start a new squad, get people from another service to join a couple of people from the platform, join forces, work on a new feature or a new service, and once it's at a maturity level that is okay, the platform team takes full ownership on the code, and the other people can return to their teams and continue to work on their service. Another method is to have code contributions where people can donate code. Everybody's using the same technological tech stack, and they can donate code to the platform. And once they donate the code, we maintain it and we own it. That's the main principle here. So the current state is we're in production with many, if not the majority of CyberArk's SaaS solutions. And you can see here all the privileged access management, secrets management, identity management, and in the bottom you have lots of platform services, the unified audit authentication, and other services. And we're considered now the golden path for new services, that every new service will basically use the platform SDKs and self-service service. So looking back on it, I think that the keys to success are constant feedback, always look for feedback from the people, have early adopters to give you feedback right at the beginning, not 2 years once you create all the experience, all the SDKs, work on developer experience, and have a self-service template. That's the majority, I think. So to sum it all up, I think that cloud platform engineering can really accelerate development. It can reduce cognitive load if done properly. You have internal and external customers, which raises challenges and solutions. But as you saw, we can solve them, and it's possible. So thank you very much. I was Ran Eisenberg. You can follow me on my Twitter and LinkedIn, and also on my website, roundthebuilder.cloud. So thank you very much.